Hello and welcome back to Cutleaf. I forgot my audio equipment, so the audio might be a little bit off. But welcome to the first POV session and editing session of the year, which is like going to be like a 30-minute episode of just showing you my workflow. You know, how I take photos from the drone all the way to the editing suite and how I get it ready for Etsy. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, but got to walk quite quickly because sunrise at 7:05 and I need to get to the place I want to be for these epic shots. So see you in a sec. Such a beautiful morning. Just filming on my phone a sec, but look at the moon. That's crazy. If only drones had like a big telephoto lens. So we're here, we made it, we're about 5 minutes over, but the sunrise is coming up, it's like burning red. Not sure you can see it, probably not. But we've got the range extenders on. We've got the drone. Let's take it over and see what we can find. So as you can see, oh, it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. So let's go into photo mode. Let's go to manual settings. As you all know, let's start from the top. Look at that. Okay, so as you all know, we changed the shutter speed, so let's grab that bit there, come down, beautiful, beautiful, and one more, lovely. Let's bring it down, let's capture that even more. As you can see, you got the ISO at 100. If we don't want any noise in the photo, we want to cancel that out as much as possible. Bit further down, and again. And again. So that's the first shot taken. Let's take it a bit closer. Let's get the quarry in there as well. If we bring it down ever so slightly and bring it out to the left, we can get the framing quite nice. So we can have the sea on the left and then just sort of the structure to the right of the image. Something like that could look quite nice. Let's try it. We've got time. And again, start. Oh, every time I see it like that, it makes me excited. Okay, that's shot number 2 taken. Let's try to get like a panoramic one. Not exactly sure how I want to get this, but I'm thinking that we go somewhere on the outside like this. We keep the sun to the left of the image, and what we're going to try to do is just sort of get it like that. I mean, it might not turn out nice, but we will give it a go. These range extenders also really help, like massively. Without them, I don't think I'll be able to get half as far as I do. There it is. Okay. So let's go for something. The sun maybe just framed to the right of the image. And let's go for there. Yeah, that's nice. Quite like the shadows that are being passed on from the sun now. So I'm going to try to capture a couple of those. There we go. Okay, so that's that shot. Okay, so enough of the sun now. What I'm going to try to do is sort of face it the opposite way and just see what sort of light we've got on the buildings, the ground, what sort of structure we have as well. This, guys, is why we love golden hour. It's just beautiful. Sunrise, sunset as well. Like, you just can't beat the lighting situation. Yeah, it's freezing cold now, so I'm gonna go back to the office, open up the Mac, get the editing software out, so I'll see you in a sec. Hello and welcome back. As you can probably tell, this isn't my office space, nor is it the same day. My beard's longer, my hair's longer, and I can't wait for the barbers open so I can get it cut again. It's been a few days since the sunrise shoot in the morning. I've just had a few days off just to sort of relax, enjoy the sunshine and stuff. So over the past few days, I've been going through some of the photos to have an idea of how I'm going to edit for this video today. In total, the other day I took around 7 photos. I was really happy with 3 of them. I thought they turned out really nice, but there were 2 that stood out, and they're the ones that I'm going to be editing today to show you how I get the finished result and how you can apply the skills that I'm teaching you today in your own work. If you want to know why some of the images didn't work, like the panoramic one and stuff, then please just comment down below and I'll be happy to answer. But I just want to focus on the good stuff in this video and show you the 2 photos that I really enjoyed editing. So yeah, let's dive in and get started. So I've started using Aurora for all of my HDR merging. I just find that Aurora merges the photos far better than Lightroom, but I still use Lightroom for my editing of the image. So I'm just going to show you the process that I go through to get to Lightroom first. So with Aurora, we open it up and let's go to the first one. So let's just highlight all of those, press open, and let's auto align the images so there's no ghosting and create the HDR. There we go. Now once the photos have merged, we can enhance it or brighten it, or you know, there are many options that we can choose from, but I prefer to stick to the realistic landscape because the others are just a little bit too saturated and too contrasty for my liking. And plus we're going to be taking them into Lightroom, so we don't want too much to happen here. We just want the photos to merge together. There you go, that's before and that is after. What we do, we come up the top right, export, and then we go call this one Pano 1 and keep everything the same except just change the file, the format of the file to TIFF. There we go, and keep the resolution and everything the same. Go ahead and click save. That's going to the desktop, and that's the first image. And let's just do the other 2. Okay, so once we've merged the 3 images together, we go into Lightroom, add photos, and then we've got Pano 3, 2, 1, review them for import, put them in there just like so. There we go, and we're going to highlight all 3 and photo merge and panorama merge those ones. As again, you've got the 3 projection options that you can choose from. So you have spherical, perspective, or cylindrical. And for me personally, I really like the perspective option on this photo, so we're going to go ahead with that one. Just wait for it to refine. There we go, and we can crop it in auto just like so. That's really nice. Go ahead and click merge. Okay, so that's the standard photo that we're going to start editing and working from now. So the first step I usually go through is just go into the tone curves and just bringing that up ever so slightly. Not too much, probably about to there. Mid-tones, just bring those up slightly. And then we're going to boost some of the shadows, do the contrast slightly, the highlights, probably. We still want to see some of that sun, so I'm not going to boost the highlights too much, so I'm just going to keep those down slightly. That's quite nice, yep. So we played with the tone curves. Contrast, I don't want it too contrasty, so I'm just going to bring that forward slightly. And then we come down to the color mixer. Just going to brighten that ever so slightly to there. Just going to saturate it ever so slightly. And we don't want to play around with the colors too much. We want to keep the image as natural as possible. So I'm just going to leave it around the center. And maybe just boost it a little bit to the right. Okay, and with the oranges, we're just gonna brighten those up slightly and give a little bit more saturation in there. And again, like I said, we don't want to play with the hue too much in the image. It just looks really fake. So try to keep it around the center. But that doesn't mean you can't move it. You still can. It's like total creative freedom. The yellows, like that. That's quite nice. That's before, that's after. Not really any greens in the image, so I'm just going to leave that. The blue, I love the colour of the sea. I'm not sure if I want it more teal or just like more of a natural blue. Maybe more natural for now. Let's boost the saturation in that a little bit more. There we go. And let's just brighten it up ever so slightly. That's quite nice actually. Let's go for the tealy and orangey sort of vibe. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's a little bit sharp, but I do like where it's heading. I might just take the saturation down, or the vibrance. Just take the vibrance down slightly. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and let's just crop the photo as well. Let's go for an Instagram size. Let's go for the 4x5. Sort of, let's just close it in a little bit and bring it to about there. So really happy with the tone curves. I'm happy with the colors. Okay, yeah, I'm really happy with that. So that's pretty much the standard process in Lightroom. We've played with the shadows and highlights a little bit. We've played with the tone curve and the color mixer. That's pretty much as far as I go in Lightroom to start off with. Then I take it into Photoshop. So if we hit File and click Edit in Photoshop. Okay, so now our image is opened in Photoshop. The first step I do is I hit Command J and this opens a new layer. I then get the healing tool and just sort of get rid of any distractions that I don't like in the image. I'm not a fan of that ship. It just looks like there's something wrong in the image. Let's just get rid of that. It's mainly when like we have people in the image or cars, I like to use the healing tool. Not so much with just like a standard landscape shot, but I'm actually really happy with how this is. And just quickly look at the quality of the Mini as well. I know it's not as sharp as we'd like it to be, but we're pulling all of this out of this small sensor just through going through this process. The only thing I don't really like in this image is how you can see the stitching over here. It's quite obvious that this has happened. Maybe screen. Yeah, let's blend it ever so slightly. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's blended it a little bit more. I like that. And then we go ahead and click Option, Command, Shift and E. Next step is the selective color tool. So I hit the selective color just down there. And again, I play with the colors just like we did in Lightroom, but only a minor amount. Okay, so I'm happy with the color changes there. So again, go ahead and click Option, Command, Shift and E. The next step is to add 2 curves adjustment layers. So we're going to go ahead and click those. The first one we're going to multiply and then go ahead and click Command I, and then we're going to screen the other one and go ahead and click Command I. Then what you want to do is hit your brush tool. So just click B on the keypad. And we're just going to start brushing in some of those highlights and shadows. You want to change the opacity of the brush up the top to around 15 to 20 and the flow of the brush to around 30 to 40. And we're just going to start brushing in where some of those highlights and some of those shadows are. So it doesn't matter how accurate you are, as long as you're just sort of giving the image a bit more depth with this tool. So, you know, it doesn't really matter if I go over a shadow with the highlight brush or something. Okay, there we go, happy with that. Just to show you the difference it's made. And again, we go ahead and click Option, Command, Shift and E. And then one of the final steps is to hit Filter, Noise, and then we're going to reduce the noise in the image just to wipe out any of that grain that might be there. And I just sort of leave this on strength 10. I want to preserve some of the details. And just go ahead and click OK. So you can play around with those settings however you want, but that's what works for me. Again, I don't try to go too much into the photo because I like to get them out for the store and turn over quite quickly. Then we hit Image, Image Size, and we change the resolution to 300 pixels per inch. Go ahead, click OK. That just sharpens the image a little bit more. Wait for that to finish. There we go, and that should be it. That's everything. If you've got some more skills up your sleeve that you want to add to it, then go for it. But that's just the process that I go through on all of my images. Then go to File, Export, and export the image. And we're going to go ahead, click Export as a JPEG file, and call that Berryhead Digital Download for the Etsy store. That's the file that I'll be printing. Go ahead and click Save. there we have it. That is the first image that I was really happy with. I really liked the composition, I liked the way the sun was, the highlights, the shadows, so I was really happy with how that one turned out. So that's the first image, and let's jump into the second one. Okay, so same process as before. Let's go into Aurora and open our images. So this is the first set. There we go. Auto alignment again. Okay, so that's all of the photos merged. Let's go into Lightroom and add the photos. 654. And let's add those in. Let's merge those together. Panorama merge again. And let's have a look at what options we have with the projection of the image. Really don't like spherical. That's a no-go. Cylindrical, absolutely not. And perspective, perfect. So let's go and auto crop that in. Again, you can apply the auto settings as well. Sometimes I quite like the auto settings ticked. For this instance, I'm going to leave it unticked. And let's go ahead and click merge. Okay, that's great. So first things first, let's go to crop. Let's bring it a little bit more over, open it up slightly, turn the horizon. Okay, that's really nice. I like that composition of the image. And let's go ahead and start playing with the settings. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. That's nice. And again, I tend to just leave this part down here. Other people might use it, but I just then take it straight into Photoshop, as we know. So go ahead and click edit in Photoshop. Okay, and first things first, go ahead and click Command J. Let's open a new layer, grab our healing tool and get rid of any distractions that we don't want in the image. Again, I don't think this image needs much healing. If I just turn them on and off, you can see there's nothing that really changes, but it's just for my personal preference. And go ahead and click Option, Command, Shift and E. And again, let's go to the selective color tool and just have a little play with the colors in the image again. Okay, and next step, Option, Command, Shift and E. Let's go ahead and do our curves adjustment layers. Again, we hit multiply and we choose screen and hit Command I again. Let's press B on the keypad for our brush tool and enlarge it. And let's very quickly just go over some of the areas where our highlights and shadows are. So once you've added in those highlights and shadows how you want, go ahead and click Option, Command, Shift and E again. And let's do the final step, which is filter noise, and let's reduce that noise. With the Mini 2 you shouldn't have as much noise because of the raw capability that it has and other drones, but with the Mini I think it's really important to follow through with this step. Nice. And then one more thing, image size, and let's go ahead and 300, hit OK. Nice. And then if we zoom in, you can see just there. Okay, let's go to File, Export, and export our image as a JPEG file. There we go. And let's call that Berry Head Golden Hour Digital Download. Boom. Go to our desktop and let's take a look at the final two images that we've just edited today. Quite a straightforward process. It's very simple. I think I might start watching a few more YouTube videos to improve on my editing skill, but because a lot of you ask me how I edit on the Mavic Mini, this is how I do it. So again, I'm just showing you my process. Compared to what they started out like, I'd say that's really good. So yeah, like I said, the Mavic Mini packs a punch and you can get some quality, Insta-worthy content out of it, and also you can even get some print-worthy pictures out of it as well, depending on the edit and lighting conditions and everything else that's involved with the process. So yeah, they're the images. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's the first of many like this, showing you how I fly and how I edit. I think it's helpful for you guys, and it also keeps me on top of my game, constantly wanting to improve to show you guys how to do different things. But yeah, as usual, if I've taught you something new today and you want to show your appreciation by buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi, as usual, like £3 for a cup of coffee, you can do so by just hitting the link. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video once again, guys. Please give it a big thumbs up and hit that sub button if you haven't already. I have got some exciting stuff coming out over the next few weeks. So yeah, have a great day. I hope the weather stays beautiful wherever you are, and I'll see you next time for another video. See you then.